I'm going to demonstrate an extremely interesting, unique, and challenging push-up variation that I came up with playing around one day. Inspired by the Blast straps, which I'm sure many of you may have seen. If you haven't, they're basically nylon straps that you can attach to various things. They're good for doing push-ups. Attach them to the top of a power rack. They have some handles. You can really challenge your core stability and whatnot in a way that's extremely unique, just not really possible with doing them off the floor. And I didn't have a pair of Blast straps, and I was kind of wishing that I had something like that, and then I realized I had a bunch of Iron Woody strength bands. And so using some of the stuff that I had at my facility, I played around and kind of came up with this push-up variation. What you do is you take a pair of strength bands. Right here I actually have the mediums. You basically have to find a pair of bands that will, you'll see when I do this, as I start to do the push-up, the bands are going to stretch. I'm going to come pretty close to the ground, but I'm not going to quite touch the ground. So if you find that you touch the ground, then you need to go to a heavier band. And if you find that you barely move, like the band is just so strong compared to your body weight that when you get set up the bands don't stretch much, then you need to go to a little bit lighter band. So I weigh about 185 pounds. I've found that for about 170 to almost 200 pounds, the smalls work pretty good. I mean the medium bands here, and so I've had a few lighter athletes that I've had to use the small bands with, and a few heavier athletes I've had to use the large bands with. So anyways, what you do, attach them to the top of the power rack, the pull-up bar. What I have here is a set of carabiners that I use to attach handles to my bands. I find that it actually works better than just using the bands itself. If you don't happen to have handles, and you can't just use the bands, put your hands in the bands. But pair of carabiners, an old pair of carabiners, shouldn't be too hard to find. I would recommend that you get a real carabiner, not one of those ones that you find like Ace Hardware or whatever that are meant for use as a keychain. Like I said, you should be able to find an older used climbing carabiner, which is fine for these purposes relatively cheaply. And then just a pair of handles that you can find pretty much anywhere as well, and so attach those there. And so my clients and I have kind of dubbed this the Face Your Fear push-up, because you'll see when you start to come down, that floor starts getting pretty close, and you got to have some faith that the bands are going to hold you, so got to face your fear a little bit. But I'm going to demo it for you. Grab you the handles, get yourself set. You can see the band start to stretch, and lower yourself down, keeping yourself straight. Push yourself back up and repeat. Bring yourself down. Push yourself back up. As you can see, they're tough. Really, really tough. Huge challenge on your torso. Be able to stabilize and control the movement there. So, like I said, I've never actually done this movement with the Blast straps. I do plan on getting a pair of them here at some point in the future, but I have to imagine that this variation takes it to an entirely different level. I mean, I've seen this thing challenge pretty much anyone that's tried it. I mean, if you can get more than 6 to 8 clean reps on this exercise, more power to you, man. You're really strong, got a good, strong control midsection with that. So anyways, this has been James Wilson with the Athletes Training Zone and MTB Strength Training Systems, demonstrating a nice, interesting little push-up variation for you.